Let me introduce myself. My name is Margaret Kobia, a mentee of Professor Rea Malango, and I am extremely happy to be here to say a few words regarding as we pay tribute to Professor Malango. Professor Malango and Rea Malango and John Malango and your family, the chair and members of the council and trustees of the African Nazarene University, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, allow me to stand on the established protocol and move on. When I met Professor Malango in 1978, I was a first year at Kenyatta University, and as you have been told by the speakers who have been before me, she had just come from the US, and we admired her, and we are proud of her as being our lecturer, and above all, she was the head of department. Me, in particular, I had an encounter with her, because as a head of department, she was supposed to ensure that the students performed well. And I was in this group which had not done very well. So I was summoned to our office. And I had not done well in a subject called the philosophy of education. Philosophy, I used to find it hard. And I would like to tell you, Professor Malango, she is very, very firm. She told us we are not just going to the university just to pass, but to pass very well. That started to speak to me. By the time I left the door, I knew I would never go back to that office again because she was very firm. So that interest that she showed to us as students touched or kind of gave me a vision that you have to work hard. And Professor Malango, of course, as you have heard, she broke the, what we call glass ceiling. She actually took us to open skies. Now me and the other mentees who are here at the open skies. Can we give her a clap? She had a lot of interest with our students, and of course, I don't want to take a lot of time, and the community in general. If you see the people she has mentored, they come from all corners of this country and beyond. And I'm sure those people are making immense contribution and changing the lives of the people who come across her. In fact, what Professor Malango taught us through our success, because starting from a lecturer, then head of department, that is success, and of course going on to become all other leadership in the university, and then move to African Nazarene University for 21 years. That taught me and other mentees success is not personal. Today, when I look at Rongai, where the university is, for sure you can see success is not. I think it should speak to us that success is not personal. It is also seen from all of us who are her mentees, and also the transformation which she has brought, not only in the university, but even the area, the development that she has brought there. Today we can say, as our mentees, that she's one of the most admired women in Kenya and beyond, because right even from when we were students, and most of you who are here who know her, Professor Malango is a woman of class. She's a woman of style. She pays attention to details. She's a woman of dignity. She's a woman of character. So even us as mentees, we are always, it's like she reminds us, you have to do it very well. If you can't do it well, don't do it. So it is like that light or the candle you put before us, we still continue to cherish that. She has received, I think, as you saw, a lot of honors and awards because of our contribution in many areas, of course, besides a contribution in higher education. Let me tell you something else, maybe which you may not have known. As I continue to do the job I am doing now, you hear from the university, then I was teaching, and then I went to commission for higher education, and now where I was at the Kenya School of Government and now at Public Service Commission, Professor Marangu has always had a slot in my life. I can say she is one of the most politically savvy women I have ever known. Politically, why? I think having served in these international bonds and other bonds where you have to work, negotiate with many people for a decision to be made and execute, I think right now when I'm faced with any decision that I have made and I'm finding as a difficulty, I realize, as all of you know, the higher you go in any organization, 70% of the work will be political. Therefore, Professor Marangu has become a real politician, and through that analysis, she can help me make some decisions. Many times she has told me, you have to be careful, you have to hire the right person. So that kind of counsel, you don't get it from somebody who is not experienced. The fourth thing that I've learned from Professor Marangu, she has taught me women can have both worlds. Both worlds as a career, you succeed. You can also have both the world of a family. I think there we need to give them a clap. A pattern was kind of imagining that if you are very successful as a woman, most likely you have failed on family line. But if Professor Marangu, with support of Professor John Marangu, they showed us it can be done. And I think for me, the family values that they continue to carry and show us they are very, very important. Therefore, as I conclude, today we just want to tell you, Professor, as you move to pursue other interests, because I know you will not retire. People who are always busy, they always find something they are passionate and they want to continue doing. We want to support you as your mentees. We will be there for you. We also keep coming back to ask you, when you are faced with this kind of a challenge, how did you go about it? Because what you taught us is not where we are coming from that matters, it's where we want to go. So even as me and Professor Mugenda did home economics, that is already, you are one of the first people who kind of indicated that it doesn't matter what you did at the university. And that is even becoming real today. People who you have seen become the best ICT person might not even have done ICT in the university. So it is not the degree or the discipline that we did, but it's how we establish what is the niche required for the future, and we try to solve that problem of the future. Therefore, as you move on to pursue those interests, we'll be coming to share moments with you, and for us to make sure you are finding meaning in whatever you want to do. But above all, we pray God is going to strengthen you, give you strength, that you continue serving Him, because I am always reminded the God who we serve is able. So even as you are moving to that new role, we will be praying that God strengthens you. And above all, also, we want, for me, I want to look the way you are looking today. You are my role model. Just as Judge Kobia said, the way you are looking today, I also want to look like you those many years to come. So I pray to God that I continue looking like you. Thank you very much for how you have helped all of us to be where we are, and we can assure you, we will not forget, and that will also, it's like you hold us accountable. That is always in our mind as mentees. May God bless you. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening to me.